Welcome to EduRev. Hey everyone, today we are diving into the excretory system. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This chapter can be a bit of a beast, right? But don't you worry. As your learning companion, I'm here to make it super simple, totally memorable, and honestly, kind of fun. That's exactly right. My whole goal here is to make this feel less like you're studying a textbook and more like we are cracking a secret code together. We are going to take it step by step, so by the time we are done, it's all just going to click. So let me guess. You're finding it tough to keep all the parts and processes of excretion straight? I totally get it. It's one of those topics with a million new terms, right? It feels like you spend hours memorizing everything and then, poof, it's gone the next day. Super frustrating. Well, that all changes today. I'm going to let you in on some super simple tricks that'll make this whole thing unforgettable. We're talking about mnemonics. These are like little memory hacks. Think of them as catchy phrases that unlock all that complicated info and lock it into your brain for good. You ready? Let's get into it. Alright, Section 1. Excretion across the kingdom. First things first, let's take a quick tour of the animal kingdom. You'll see that different animals have come up with some pretty cool and different ways to get rid of their waste. So how on earth are we supposed to remember all these different excretory organs? It's simple actually. All you have to do is remember this one slightly weird sentence. Please never make green plants. Go on, say it with me. Please never make green plants. This is our first magic key. Okay, let's decode this. Please stands for Protonephridia. You'll find these in flatworms like the planaria. Never is for Nephridia, which are the excretory organs of our good friend, the earthworm. Make points us to Malpighian tubules, which insects like cockroaches use. And finally, green is for the green glands found in crustaceans like prawns. See? Piece of cake. Okay, so we've seen how other animals handle their business. Now, let's turn the spotlight on us, humans. We are going to zoom right into the star of our own show, the kidney. And yep, you guessed it, we've got another awesome mnemonic to master its anatomy without breaking a sweat. So to remember the key parts of the kidney from the outside layer working our way in, just ask yourself this question. Can medics handle calm patients? So what does it mean? Can is for the cortex. That's the outer layer. Medics stands for the medulla, the inner part that has all those pyramid-looking things. Handle is for the hilum. Think of it as the doorway where all the vessels and the ureter go in and out. Calm reminds us of the calyces, these little funnels that collect the urine. And last but not least, patience is for the renal pelvis, which is the main collecting area before the urine heads out to the ureter. Now this is where it gets really cool. Looking at this diagram, we can actually trace our mnemonic right on it. See this outer rim? That's our C for cortex. Deeper inside, we've got the medulla. And this little notch right here, that's the hilum. See these branching bits? Those are the calyces, and they all lead into this main area, the pelvis. Our little phrase works just like a map. Alright, so we know what the kidney looks like on the inside. But how does it actually make urine? Well, it involves a few really important steps and a super clever system for concentrating it. And don't worry, I've got you covered with mnemonics for both. For the three main steps of how urine is formed, I want you to picture something a little silly. Good rabbits swim. Just get that image in your head. It's easy and it's going to stick. Okay, let's break it down. Good is for glomerular filtration. This is step 1, where your blood gets filtered under a whole lot of pressure. Rabbits is for reabsorption. This is where your body is smart and takes back all the good stuff it needs, like glucose, water, and ions. And swim is for secretion. This is the final cleanup, where some extra waste products get actively dumped into the filtrate. And check this out. This picture shows the whole thing happening inside the nephron perfectly. First, you've got filtration happening right here in the glomerulus. Then, as that liquid moves along this long tube, reabsorption of all the good stuff happens. And finally, you have secretion, adding that last bit of waste before it all officially becomes urine. But wait a second, how does our body make sure we don't just pee out all our water? It uses a genius little system called the countercurrent mechanism. And to remember how this works, just think Henle's loop regulates salts. Let's unpack this one. So, Henle's loop itself kicks things off by pumping out salts into the tissue around it. The second loop in our phrase refers to the Vasa recta. Those are the blood vessels flowing the other way, and they help keep that salty environment stable. This whole amazing setup regulates how much water gets pulled back into the body, which lets us make concentrated urine. It's just a super efficient way to save water. Now let's look at the diagram to see this in action. You can see the loop of Henle here, creating this concentration gradient. It gets saltier and saltier the deeper you go, and the Vasa recta flows in the opposite direction, which is key. It helps maintain that saltiness, and that's what pulls water out of the collecting duct. It's a perfect little exchange system, isn't it? Okay, so we have seen how everything is supposed to work. But of course, sometimes this complex system can run into some trouble. So let's quickly go over some common disorders of the excretory system. And I've got one last mnemonic to help you ace this part on your exams. And the mnemonic for this one is actually a really good piece of advice. You really shouldn't get kidney glitches. It's easy to remember and it covers all the key problems you need to know about. U is for uremia. That's when urea builds up in the blood, which is not good. Really stands for renal calculi. You probably know these as painful kidney stones. Get is for glomerulonephritis, which is just a fancy way of saying the glomeruli are inflamed. Kidney, of course, points to kidney failure, which is a very serious condition that might require dialysis. And glitches is a clever way to remember both glycosuria and ketonuria. That's when sugar and ketones show up in the urine, often as a sign of diabetes. And just like that, you now have a complete mnemonic toolkit to totally master this chapter. Seriously, from the different excretory organs in the animal kingdom to the kidney's anatomy, how urine is made, and even what can go wrong, you've got a simple phrase to remember it all. With these little tricks, a chapter that might have seemed really intimidating before is now, well, hopefully pretty straightforward and hard to forget. So the real question is, what other tough topic are you ready to conquer next? And to keep this learning streak going, make sure you download the EduRev app. It's on both the Play Store and the iOS App Store. Inside, you'll find thousands more of these explainers, tons of detailed notes, practice tests, and basically everything you need to crush your studies.